today. Oh, do we have demos?
I have one.
We have one. We have topics.
A colleague of mine might have a demo. I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to join or not.
And Victoria is late, so we'll focus on Victoria.
Okay, thank you. So I just wanted to mention that I posted on different platforms, but first of all, at the GitHub discussion that we would be really interested in your opinion about the topics and take the opportunity now to influence the outcome of the event. So you can comment any topics, any ideas there, and it would be really great if we would have a discussion there as well, because now we still have time to gather some topics that you are interested on. So I just wanted to mention it.
You say there is a discussion open. Is there a link for that?
Yes, so there is an open discussion, Orchard Harvest Conference 2025 in Europe, and I post the updates there as well every time. I can link it in the chat.
I have it. But you can put it in the chat. Oh, I don't get. I have it.
Oh,
Don't worry.
yeah.
I'm doing it.
You already have.
Your opinion matters. You mean mine, right?
Yeah, yours
Okay,
as well.
okay.
Yeah, so now you are really happy to comment something there. I can imagine.
Yeah, I will first say that your image is not too big for my screen. And or maybe I'm no, it's not even because I'm zooming or in that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next, status. This button. Last week. Where is my page? Last week, 1st of April. It was there at search highlights. Mike merged his branch about search highlights. And I will later fixes a missing script in the icon picker text field editor. Font awesome icon picker. Yes, so it's a resource. Now it's a resource. It was a resource, so you can use the resource. Instead of pointing to a file that may not exist. Thanks, George. George is here. Improve title part settings by hiding the pattern field if it doesn't apply. Okay, UI improvements. And I see. If we don't want to generate it, then let's not display the pattern. Good. Now I'm confused. option value.
Yeah, this doesn't change anything. The change is some JavaScript below.
I know, but I don't understand why it doesn't change anything. Because title
Because
part
it
option.
uses, yeah, it's an enum.
Oh,
It's
it's an
using toString there and
why.
name of.
Okay.
It's
Thank you.
just
And the script. Name of is fine. ID is fine. Just checking if it has to be escaped or not. So everything looks good. Thank you. And another one. I need a badge if user email address is not confirmed. And confirmed. It's displayed here. So
and this is related to a change from Mike. He removed the checkbox from the edit screen, and there is no output anywhere for this beyond.
Okay. Fix media resource dependencies, some more dependencies. Nothing depends on bootstrap anyway. Okay, I trust you. CSS map. Import properties for query. Import default query manager. Query property. Loan, JSON object, job. What are the query properties? What do we put in it? Anything?
Yeah, here you can have anything. It's a dynamic object.
And when you say import, it's because a date-based property. Next. Then there is this branch where it was BagPart. Then fix authorization check in BagPart authorization check. The definition, authorize, edit content item. What's the difference here? Content type definition here. Authorize, yeah, you don't authorize the content definition manager. That's not good. Okay. Okay. Good job. Good find. Removing this check though, I'm not sure. But I assume this may be.
It's the same thing. He's now
that.
checking
Okay.
it inside the authorized async.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that's what it was. Wondering. Ooh. Oh, yes. So no, it's not that it was bad. It's a different thing. Okay. Oh, okay. Cool. Fix a bug in custom user settings. Deployment. We saw the issue. We talked about it during triage. Mike fixed it. We can't assign a JSON object that is already a child of something else. We have to clone the node. Benedict, include workflow trimming settings. We met it last week. We saw it. Nice little up down or whatever. No, what a problem. Showing the statuses. Yeah, with all the possibility. UI. I don't remember what changed in the UI actually. I just remember the code change that we made. There you are. Register EasyMDE in Resource Manager and fix dependencies, some more dependencies. Okay, and some more resources, which by the way, oh, good job. Static, reuse, boom, code. Then in the 2.1 branch, fix a bug in the customer settings, fix authorization check in BagPart. Did you go through? Did you check for all the PRs that would be backported?
Yeah, I've been at backporting things as we go. I think we're ready to release another version. I just haven't had time to really, but we need to release it. There's enough
last week.
bugs.
I remember there were a few little fixes. So the deep clone, if you backported it, but I think there were some little ones that we could also backport. I don't remember. I think I even mentioned like maybe we could backport it. Ah, crap. This one. That's the one I'm thinking about.
I'll look right now. I'm not sure.
It's an easy one.
I'll check it right now.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
1767.
I'll let you write a very nice command that does it. Where were we? Here. Then fixes an error when inserting a widget. The flows editor, which will be an incorrect mapping of fields when a validation error occurred, which is a title that is way too long. If I can add any value to this issue, it's just complaining about the title. So this should be a small title explaining what it touched. And then you could add a bigger description in the commit description. Prefixes. Oh, you did do it this way. Okay, it was already.
No, I've replaced this.
Okay. Let's see. So this one is the MD update. Move GetRoleNamesAsync to extension method. Okay. Another fix 421. On GraphQL, that's good. So many commits this week. What's happening? Current user should provide a current password and change password process. Okay. Okay, but there is a reset password also, right? Where we don't need the password.
That's for the admin. I believe this one looks like a different. Yeah, I'm not sure if the current user, it's like the current admin can change their own password now.
It's if you're authenticated, so I believe this current user, then you have to provide a password if you want to change the password. Or to prevent someone from going into an open account and say, oh, let's change
Yeah,
the
but
password.
that's just a view. It doesn't really enforce it in the
Maybe
controller.
there was a code and it was not there, the value. So if you try to change, let's see. In the meantime, not true. In the meantime, remove unnecessary properties. Okay. The ones that were removed recently in the UI. Remove unnecessary comment and import. Okay. Fix style issue in decoupled CMS. Okay. Fix duplicated IDs and hidden prefixing IDs, blah blah blah. Edit internally. See, George, I think this here is explaining.
This is related to the other people.
Yeah, I remember when I said, yeah, if update can call edit, it calls edit. But yeah, that's why sometimes
I've
you
used
correct this. Beautiful. Wow, wow, I feel better now. Whatever it does, it's better. I feel it.
Agreed.
Did you break anything? Because you broke.
No, I hope not. Yeah, famous last words.
And even more when you start touching prefixes. Fixed DisplayText truncating. 1 second. I need to say a word and I'll be back. 10 seconds.
I'm curious what's happening there.
Yeah, high time. You said 10 seconds.
I'm back. Too late. Oh, that's not fast enough.
That PR that we were just talking about, it doesn't really, I mean, an admin can just change the password anyway. So really it doesn't, that backend doesn't enforce it. I have no idea why that PR even was.
Is currently wrong. Okay, we'll check. We'll wait for that. What was I saying? This one. Then fix display text truncating in contain part item. Okay, we assign to the content part index display text with the max size of the content part. So we need to check with the size here. So that looks good. Add OAuth to push notification with pushed authorization request support. While pushed authorization, well, looks complicated. Pushed authorization endpoint by you, blah, blah, blah. So a new feature, enable pushed authorization endpoint. And I believe Mike will do a harvest session about it.
Well, this one is a bit different. This one, it's a new feature that he added into the OpenID lib. It wasn't even there. That it allows.
That's why we need a new session, like to explain the new feature.
Yeah, but you wouldn't really know the difference because if you're connecting, it's just improve the connection process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. New features.
Yeah, it's a good feature. It just makes writing the request much easier or creating the request.
Must be good. French
yeah,
power.
it's good.
Fix AdminCulturePicker while using AdminUrlPrefix. I saw the video. I like the video. I watched the video. I can keep on the issue. So, question. Update Jint. Bootstrap update. Wow, 5.5. Bootstrap. How hard is it to update Bootstrap these days? Package JSON, generating the files, and it's magic. Antoine, you had to use the new pipeline, and apparently you survived. It must work. Oh, even now. Cool. Thanks, Antoine. Correct message when placement is incomplete. Yes, so back and forth. The idea is that before we were removing nodes that were not valid. Now we are displaying a message when a placement node in the admin is not valid. Update SDK, update xunit, update identity packages, nothing else. Questions, comments, demos. So Zoltan was there to say he had a demo. He will start. If anyone else has demos, just say so and we'll give you your turn after Zoltan.
Jack has a demo. He's here.
JT, famous JT.
Yes, I'm here.
After Zoltan, then it's Jack. Zoltan, your turn.
All right. So this is about an Azure Marketplace integration of .nest. So you might know .nest. .nest is an orchard core software as a service. So you sign up there and you can get an orchard core website, which is, since it's a SaaS, here it is, by the way, since it's a SaaS, it's a multi-tenant application. So your site will be a tenant with every benefit and drawback that brings. This demo is not about that, but that now we have an Azure Marketplace integration, and Microsoft is usually a bit confusing with all the names, but apparently this is called the Azure Marketplace, and there's something called a marketplace in the Azure portal, which is not exactly that, but in this case, they are actually related, because now you can create .NET sites from the Azure portal. And how you do that is that you go to the Azure portal. You can start with a resource group like I do, or you can go to create a resource, which in the end will do the same thing. I will start from this resource group. And here is that mentioned marketplace, which is not exactly the Azure Marketplace you can see outside here, because here can be offers that don't actually show up here in the Azure portal for some reason. Don't ask me about that. And now if you search for Orchard Core here, you will reach this offer, which is, well, hosted Orchard Core in Azure with .nest, which is blah, blah, blah. You will get an Orchard Core site on .nest, but the good thing is that you can subscribe to it right from the Azure portal. This will create a .NET site like you can do from .NET.com, but it will show up as a resource here among your other resources. So that's what I will do. Actually, it's not pre-selected, that resource group that I started from. So let's select that one now. Not here. Where did I? Oh, I actually used a different subscription for that. So .NET demo, the name can be, I don't know, .NET demo. This is only free here, so you are not allowed to pay us. This is just a free tier, and then you can subscribe. And behind the scenes, this will create an Azure resource, and that will show up under that resource group. And once that's done, we can actually create the Orchard Core site on .NET.com. This configure account now button will become active and will be redirected to .NET, where we can create the site, and also set up Orchid Core. So yeah, now we are there. Let's configure the site. It brings us through the usual Microsoft login. You can use your work account or your private Microsoft account as well. And once that's done, you reach this page, which is the site creation page of .NET. So this is where you actually create your tenant. So again, I can use like .NET demo here. Hopefully there's no site with this name already, because if there is one, we'll get an error. And let's save it. Now this has gone to another application via a web API call and created that tenant. So once that's done, you can actually set up your site via the Orchid Core setup. This we all know, not interesting. What's more interesting is that at this point, if I go back to this resource group and do a refresh here, we now have a resource here. And if you open that, this is now pretty much a rich link to our .NET site. So if you open OpenSAS account on publisher site, you will get to the very same site editor that you see here after having to go through another Microsoft login. So here is again your .NET site. And well, if you unsubscribe here, which is for such services the same as deletion, then your site will be deleted as well. So I can just do that too. This was just a test. And now the Azure portal will remove this resource, and eventually, in our experience, in a couple of minutes, it will issue a web API call to .NET as well, and delete this site here together with all the Orchid Core data as well. So this is it. This is a tool if you like to manage .NET sites together with other parts of your Azure infrastructure. So this integrates pretty much the Orchid Core SaaS into Azure.
Thank you.
Thank
Does
you.
it mean you have an RP?
Sorry?
Does it mean you have an RP, resource provider?
I don't think so.
So if you don't think so, then you don't.
Yeah, that was necessary years ago, and we actually had an RP at that point, but there were multiple versions of that API, and it was continuously deprecated, so we got deprecated out. This is something simpler, I think, the integration.
Maybe they made like an RP for RPs, and then you don't have to do that, and they do it internally, or they have a generic resource for any SaaS provider. That would be obvious if you saw the ARM deployment script, what kind of resource it creates.
I didn't, but it's a SaaS specific one indeed. So this kind of integration is specific to SaaSes, and it's quite simple. So you pretty much have to allow Microsoft logins and implement a webhook.
Right. Awesome. Good job. Next.
Thank you.
Jack.
Hey. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. It's my first time presenting something for you guys.
Or you will never present again after, because we'll be so mean with you.
Okay, so
zoom in here.
Just
my goal.
block his mic and you'll be fine. Sebastian mic.
I will mute myself.
Okay, so the goal I was shooting for was to be able to build a decision tree to lead users down a specific path to get options that they wanted and be able to submit a workflow. But we didn't have a way to show hide a set of form or inputs or select lists of items. So I've made a way for us to show hide and steer users down a decision tree depending on what the user enters or what choices they are given. For an example, I run a tree company, and I want to be able to build a form all through the UI to allow us to take in orders from users without having to use an e-commerce setup. There's many ways to use this if you want to troubleshoot problems, if you want to use it as a contact center for training. There's a lot of ways to use this. This is just the way that I am using it for a example and demo today. We will start with the front end. So you can be asked a question for a list of items. We carry red buds. It's a tree for Cincinnati, Ohio. I want to know what size of tree that they're expecting. I'm looking for a 4-inch tree. Now I want to know what color flowers that the user is interested in. Depending on the options given, you can steer them in one direction, like I showed you the decision map. I don't want a pine, I want a pine instead of a maple. Submit the order. Yes, and this will fire off a workflow, create a content item. It can send an email, however you prefer it. And then the backend is set up on just the site page. And I tried to make it as user-friendly for anybody in just the UI will be able to do it. So as you start to build inputs, you get a starting input, and then giving rules depending on the input in front of it, it will work with it. So as you guys saw, the first input was looking for red buds, was a tree. The second input was looking for the diameter of the trunk of the tree. The third one was looking for the flower of the tree. And the fourth one is looking for the type of leaf. And in this, I believe, allows the user to build out a whole UI of a form that is show hide and can become a decision tree to increase another item that we can put into Orchard Core.
So just to kind of explain a little bit more, so that visibility settings button was added. And as you can see, the first option, click on that visibility settings, please. So by default, it's always visible. From there, you can change it. So if you change it to conditionally show, you will see options now, and you can set group and rules. So each group has or can have multiple rules, and then based on the options or the operators that you select and the value, the UI will change accordingly. So this kind of makes it easy for anyone that was to create a form but need some sort of conditional logic to be able to still utilize the backend to define whatever rules for their visibility, and it will show or hide. And he also added that conditionally hide, not just conditionally show. So it will be the opposite. The example he showed only for inputs. I don't know if you haven't, Jack, did you get around to finishing like a drop-down menu where you can just change?
I did not, but I am one line away from doing it. I just didn't want to blow up my demo.
Yeah. Sebastian, you can unmute your mic and don't scare him off.
Oh. So what do I want to say? So it looks cool. It's one form here, and then you submit the form, right? The settings, yes, they were at the input level, the form element level. So what I was expecting when it started, when I saw your decision tree, I was like, maybe it's like, and I put it in the comment, like a wizard where you type stuff and then you say next, and then you have a new set of fields based on what you typed before. No, like, and I didn't even expect it to be triggered by rules or whatever, like just a set of forms actually, like a workflow, but a workflow of forms. But here it's just workflow of inputs. So, and you can, with these rules, you can select what will be displayed based on the result of the other value. Like if I type red, I will see something, and if I type black, I will see something else, right?
Yes, you can.
It's
So
based on, okay.
yes, you could type in, starting input and then have a set of 5 other checkboxes that would all show up depending if you typed in the true answer. And then from there, from which checkbox you typed or touched and became true, you would get another set of inputs or checkboxes that would go along with the rules you are looking for.
And if you change the previous value, will it just hide the other inputs that were displayed before?
Sorry, one more time.
If you change a previous value, like when you display 5 inputs because you are at the 5th steps, but you change back the first one.
I understand.
So the question is,
it should, because he's listening for key up.
Okay.
Key up.
Okay.
Event,
any change on the input will trigger again the rules. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
this is going to be on key up, and if it's gone, it does both.
Do you reevaluate everything then? Because so for example, you have 3 inputs, but the 4th one will depend on the value of the 3. So if you change the first one, maybe the 5th condition will be dependent on the 3rd one, which hasn't changed. But with the first that changed, maybe it should change. There is an edge case there, but you'll see on this edge.
Yeah, I think he should just bubble the event. That would automatically trigger all the rest of them, because it's one depends on the other. So if you change the parent, the children need to be aware of the change that the parent happened and changes accordingly too.
So going back to my first comment about forms and wizard, I think that would be cool also to be able to link forms themselves, like display the second form when, like submit will not submit, but will be next. That's maybe totally different thing that can be done than what you did, but that would be nice, I think, to be able to do some wizards like this, to say next, previous, and then submit when you reach the last one. So maybe the button should also have some logic, like, I don't know. So that, but the main thing that bothers me in the admin is that you made a lot of work for these groups and constraints and this editor, and we had that in version 1. I don't know before, maybe for the projections we had something like that to build a Boolean expression from the UI. And in my opinion, that's a lot of work for people who can just write a Boolean expression, like in any script, example JavaScript.
Yes, and this was going to stop that, is that users were having to build these forms using JavaScript to show and hide. And now we can do it now with just UI clicks.
Yeah, but there is typing JavaScript in the client script, and then it's a mess, and typing JavaScript in the admin section where it's organized and you have IntelliSense and you can do it dynamically, and that's different. So that personally, I would still prefer as a user to just say, to see the list of available variables, like you showed, starting input 3 size and so on, but then be able to do whatever I want, because the issue with the UI is once it is becoming complex, then the UI will be super complex. You can't read what you wrote, and you might not be able to express what you want to express. That's my concern.
Okay. I'm gonna have to listen to the thing again.
Yeah,
but
sorry,
that's all
I have a French accent also, so you're not helped. Mike will translate it. Mike understands my French accent.
Yeah, that's okay. But that's all I have for now.
That's cool. Thank you.
Yes.
We have, Sebastian, we have a feature that allow you to design what you said, which is a wizard. It's a survey, so that's what we call it. But we have a UI that allow you to create a complete survey with multiple pages where you can go back or you can go forward, and it can validate as well.
Nice. And yeah, maybe the forward could be like what's done here, dependent on some condition. Like when you say next, you can check condition and say the next one is this one, or next one is this one.
Yeah, but the thing is with this one is that we wanted it to be a UI like a real time without having to submit. We actually want it to be
all client side,
as JavaScript. Yeah.
Well, maybe we can do that in forms too. If the forms are pre-rendered and then you just show them. This is what the FlowPart and the BagParts do. They pre-render the forms, and then when you say add, it will kind of clone the initial form. You see what I mean? The BagPart and the FlowPart, how they work? Because yeah, it's also client side, but there are ways of that. Not hard way. Cool. 2 demos today. Beautiful. Anyone else?
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you. Topics, questions, comments? Mike said he was about to release 2.1 whatever. I don't even remember the number. Probably we'll release 3. No, it are all safe changes this time. There is no way we can break anything.
There's always a way. 2.7.
Well, George made some changes on the flow, but we are not putting them, not the flow part. The flow part one, we are not putting them back in the backport to escape. I think so. But then the GraphQL ones, yes, we are. There are easy ones, there are safe ones. That, what else? These. That's what I have in mind. Okay. We're done. Thanks, everyone. Next meeting on Thursday or next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Have a
everyone.
nice day.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thank you. Cheers.